Al-Udeid Air Base, the largest United States military installation in the Middle East, is reportedly under attack. Unverified reports suggest that loud explosions followed by sirens were heard at the base in Doha. Early alerts indicate that the base may have been directly targeted, with possible impacts reported in the area. Remember, since the war broke out following the strikes by the U.S. and Israel, in which Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed, Iran has been targeting Al-Udeid base with drones and missiles. The attack, if confirmed, would mark one of the most direct strikes against U.S. forces in the Gulf since the conflict escalated between Iran, Israel, and their allies. Iran's direct hit also could mark a major escalation, potentially pulling the United States even deeper into a widening Middle East war. Iran is targeting Al-Udeid Air Base, mainly because it is the most important U.S. military hub in the Middle East. Hitting it sends both a military and political message to Washington. Here are the key reasons. Number 1. It is the largest U.S. base in the Middle East. It hosts around 8,000 to 10,000 American troops and massive air infrastructure. It has 2 huge runways capable of handling B-52 bombers, fighter jets, and cargo aircraft. It is equipped with advanced radar, missile defense, and surveillance systems. It also has huge fuel, logistics, and command facilities. Because of its scale, damaging the base would directly impact U.S. military capability in the Gulf. Number 2, it is the command center for U.S. air wars. The base hosts the Combined Air Operations Center, CA, which coordinates air missions across the entire Middle East. From this facility, the U.S. manages operations in places like Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, and the Persian Gulf region. Many U.S. airstrikes and surveillance missions in the region are planned and controlled from this base. Number 3, it is CENTCOM's forward headquarters. Al-Udeid acts as the forward command hub for the U.S. Central Command, which oversees American military operations across the Middle East and Central Asia. That means the base is essentially the nerve center of U.S. military power in the region. Number 4, it sits close to Iran. Geographically, Qatar is just across the Persian Gulf from Iran. This proximity means U.S. aircraft can launch missions toward Iran or nearby regions quickly. The base acts as a deterrent against Iran. Iran wants to show U.S. bases are vulnerable. Tehran has repeatedly warned that all U.S. bases in the Middle East are potential targets. By targeting Al-Udeid, Tehran aims to retaliate for U.S. strikes on Iranian assets, demonstrate that American bases cannot operate safely in the region, and pressure Washington by threatening troops and infrastructure. Meanwhile, Qatar has intercepted a fresh attack from Iran on early Monday. Sirens were sounded across Doha as Qatar reported a fresh salvo in its airspace. Amid no end to the tensions, Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman has urged all sides involved in the Middle East war to de-escalate. The Prime Minister told Sky News during an interview on Sunday, "We will continue talking to the Iranians. We will continue trying to seek de-escalation." Sheikh Mohammed said recent events delivered a huge shakeup to the trust underpinning the relationship with Iran. American Central Command's headquarters in Qatar was nearly hit in a dramatic Iranian bombing attempt. Iranian bombers reportedly came dangerously close to striking the key U.S. military hub before Qatari jets intervened at the last moment. The urgent intervention reportedly prevented a catastrophic attack on one of America's most critical Middle Eastern command centers. 2 sources exclusively briefed CNN on the operation and revealed that Iranian bombers were minutes away from striking the U.S. military's Al-Udeid Air Base in Doha. The incident took place on March 2nd, 2 days after Israel and the U.S. attacked Iran and killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei along with aides and security men. On the morning of March 6th, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC dispatched 2 Soviet-era Su-24 tactical bombers toward Al-Udeid Air Base and Ras Liafan, a key natural gas processing facility and a bedrock of the Qatari economy. One source told CNN that the Iranian bombers were 2 minutes away from their targets. The second source said that the Iranian planes were visually identified and photographed carrying bombs and guided munitions. Soon the Qataris issued a warning over radio, but to much surprise, they didn't receive any response from the Iranian bombers. Sources said the planes had switched to a flying altitude of 80 ft to evade radar detection. Due to time constraints and based on the available evidence, the aircraft were classified as hostile. Qatar then dispatched its warplanes, and a Qatari F-15 fighter engaged the Iranian bombers in aerial combat. Ultimately, the Qatari jets managed to shoot down the Iranian bombers. Qatari Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari told a briefing on March 3rd that the Iranian planes crashed into Qatar's territorial waters and a search is underway for the crews. The incident marks Iran's first daring operation over Qatar using a manned aircraft to target a neighboring country since Khamenei's death. And also for the first time, the Qatari Air Force has engaged in air-to-air combat. After the incident, Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani spoke to Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Al Thani described the incident as escalatory and one that indicates no genuine desire by Iran to de-escalate or find a resolution. All the red lines have already been crossed. The attacks on our sovereignty are constant. They are attacks on our infrastructure. Their attack on our residential areas, and the effects of these attacks are very clear. And therefore, we don't presume that there are any more red lines to be crossed when our sovereignty has been targeted in this way. When it comes to possible retaliation, as I said, all options are with our leadership. But we have to make it very clear that attacks like these will not go unanswered and cannot go unanswered. On the attack with two soy planes yesterday, the fighter jets were monitored coming into Qatar airspace. We immediately scrambled our fighter jets along with the joint squadron. The rules of engagements were followed to the letter. The pilots were informed that they have crossed into Qatar airspace, and at the moment that they were seen, that they are a definite threat to Doha, as their trajectory was. Doha, they were shot down over the waters of the Gulf, and right now we don't have any updates on the status of the pilots of these fighter jets, but we must reaffirm that any attack on our sovereignty will be dealt with the same way. There were attempts to target Hamad International Airport. They were all thwarted, and the missiles were downed by our defensive measures, and none of them have reached the airport. The airport has been safe since the beginning of the escalation with the United States. We don't need any back channeling. We have a very good front channel that is working. We're organizing. We're coordinating with the administration and with CENTCOM here in Qatar on the protection of our sovereignty and protection of Qatar and all that, who are living there here, including the servicemen and women of the United States. Obviously, this is a grave danger to international economy. We're talking here about Qatar that supplies 20% of international supply of LG, of natural gas, and therefore it is a very important player, one of the most important players when it comes to energy in the world today. A lot of dependency is on our supplies when it comes to natural gas, and we have proven ourselves historically to be a dependent and reliable partner when it comes to providing energy supplies to the world. The incident was unusual. Typically, Iran's retaliation has been in the form of missiles or drones. According to regional governments, the Iranian regime has fired more than 400 ballistic missiles and more than 1,000 drones at Arab states along the Gulf. Since the U.S.-Israeli attack, Iran has targeted U.S. military sites, U.S. diplomatic missions, urban centers, energy infrastructure, and airports in the Gulf states. In a dramatic missile strike, Iran bombarded the CENTCOM headquarters in Qatar. Iranian ballistic missiles struck the forward headquarters of the United States Central Command CENTCOM at the Al-Udeid Air Base in Doha, Qatar's defense ministry said. In a statement, the ministry said Qatar was targeted by 2 ballistic missiles launched from Iran, adding that air defense systems intercepted one of them, while the second fell on the base located southwest of the capital Doha, without resulting in human losses. The ministry said the Qatari armed forces possess the full capability to safeguard the country's sovereignty and territory, and remain prepared to respond firmly to any external threat. It also urged citizens, residents, and visitors to remain calm, follow official instructions, and rely on verified information rather than rumors. The statement did not specify whether the missile caused material damage. Al-Udeid isn't just another base, it's the backbone of U.S. military air power and command in the Middle East. It is a high-value strategic target and critical asset in the ongoing Iran war. It serves as the forward headquarters for U.S. Central Command and houses the Combined Air Operations Center, the nerve center directing air missions across the region.